Learning a different smart. Yes, we are going to talk about learning a different smart in this presentation. So, leadership is influencing behaviors, thoughts, feelings of human beings. Remember, if we can influence human beings, there's nothing that is going to stop us in achieving our destination or reaching our destination or our goals thereby. So, leadership is one of the least understood phenomena on earth. Probably, yes. Why does it? Then why does some people actually so popular and clicks everything that they touch turns into gold. So it's one of those factual things that nobody actually has a full understanding, and that is the reason you will go to any of the bookshops or libraries. You will find many volumes of book aptly titled on leadership. Leadership has been subject of many extraordinary ordinary amounts of dogmatically stated nonsense. So building a leader is physical vitality and stamina, intelligence, practical judgment, vision, situational competence, the knowledge of a leader has of a task, ambition, skill in understanding, dealing with people, including followers and constituents. So that is one of the building leaders. Then we have the organized capacity to inspire others, high ethical standards, willingness to take risk, charisma, magnetism, oratorical skills as public speakers, adaptability, flexibility of approaches, willingness to accept responsibility. This is what we are looking forward to. This is what we are having in our mind. So that is what building a leadership is all about. It is all about having an emotional connect. It is all having a wonderful intelligence quotient. So EQ and IQ actually plays a bigger role out there. So that is what building a leadership is to be kept in mind. So making the case for emotional intelligence or EI. So we will have a case for is intelligence quotient the must required thing. So the emotional quotient is all the thing that we require. Or what exactly is IQ or what exactly is EQ? Emotional quotient or intelligence quotient thereby. This is what we are looking forward to as to what needs to be done to build up a wonderful skills. Remember, we are talking of learning a different smart as to how can we achieve an sense of excellence over the general public or people in general. So IQ or intelligence quotient is a number that shows the rating of a person's intelligence. It is found by dividing the mental age as shown in the test by actual age in the largest age group, multiplying it by 100. 16 is the largest age used usually. So that is what we looking into it. Intelligent test, any test measures to measure mental development. Most intelligent tests include tasks involving memory, reasoning, definitions, numerical ability, and recalling facts that goes around it. So any test used to measure mental development, most intelligence tests, including tasks involving memory, reasoning, definitions, and numerical ability, and recalling facts thereby. Cognitive capacities are technical expertise, educated know-how, intellect, smart skills, and book learning that goes around it. As is the cognitive capacity. So that is what we are looking. IQ is the quotient component, tends to change much past from our teen years, and why not? The question is why not? The cognitive capacities. Remember, it's the mental capacity that comes around through education, smart skills, book learning, technicals. No, IQ tends not to change over past in many beyond a particular age of 16, 17, or 18 at best. This is what we look into it. But what IQ doesn't change over a period of time. Remember, we have a capacity of our mind, and the mind capacity remains more or less fixed. But what happens in emotional intelligence? So it's an ability to understand not only self but also others. So the phrase emotional intelligence keeps on building. It's through your learning that you keep on adding onto your knowledge, the repository. The phrase emotional intelligence was coined to describe the qualities like understanding one's own feeling, the regulations of emotion in a way that enhances living all the way. So descriptions are characters, personality, soft skills, socially capable, self-confident, and good communicator. Remember, intelligent quotient gets you the interviews, but emotional quotient gets you the job. So your qualification might give you the call for an interview, but it is how you carry yourself during the interview will actually gets you the job. So misconception as EI does not necessarily be nice. Remember, BI is all about understanding self and others. Nor does it mean allowing free rein of feelings and letting it all hang around. Not being a doormat for anybody else, but probably going with the situation and manipulating the situation in your favor in a positive way. So that can only be done when you understand yourself. That can only be done when you can understand others also. So when you can probably align your objectives with the objective of others, probably it's a win-win solution altogether. So two different kind of intelligence, one is intellectual and the other one is emotional. So let us understand what a neuroscience says. Remember, we're looking to be another smarts around it, right? A different smart that we need to go around it. Finding intellect is based solely on the working of neocortex, the rational brain, the more recently evolved layers on the top of the brain. Absolutely. Emotional centers lowers in the brain, closer to the brain stem in the more ancient subcortex or limbic system, the emotional brain. These two different parts of the brain learn differently. Emotional centers result in skills grounded in our evolutionary heritage for survival and adaptations, as the case might be. We go across and we will let you know what is to be done within the time frame of the thing. So let us understand with the moment that women tends to be more aware of the emotions, show more empathy, are more adapted in interpersonality personally. Men tends to be more self-confident and optimistic. This is what we are looking into, and they can handle stress better. However, on the whole, the men and women are generally equal in total emotional intelligence, as the case might be. So women tends to be more aware of their emotions, men tends to be more aware of the self-confidence. Men's are more optimistic, women might be more empathetic. So men can handle stress better, probably women can adapt interpersonally much better. So however, on a whole, they are more or less equal in total emotional intelligence, as the case might be. So let us understand what can be done or what has been worked around it. So work focused on the nature and the type of emotional competencies have involved in current thinking around it, expanding the process. Definitely both on the personal front, both on the social nature of emotional intelligence. Remember, this is what we need to go around it. Emotional intelligence can be learned and definitely is enhanced by an experiences. Is the way that we process information, situation, and as we grow, we are subject to a lot of experiences, good, bad, ugly, you name it, and we can have it. So everybody goes to the roller coaster rides of emotions where you are up and down, and based upon those rights will make you an enriched fellow if you can handle those lows and downs, probably, and handles the ups and above also simultaneously. So emotional intelligence is one way which gets accrued over a period of time, and you can actually learn things and embrace uh, and acquire emotional intelligence with the passage of time, which might not be the cases as far as intellectual quotients or intellectual intelligence is all about it. So that is what we look around here. So let us have a survey of an emotional things. Probably for a clerical, supervisory, or managerial president, what are the things that has been required? So this is what we look for. A clerical requirements might not be very high. Absolutely, for a managerial, absolutely for a managerial, intellectual quotient is to be high, and so does the emotional quotient. For clerical, intelligence quotient might not be high, probably, absolutely, or certain rudimentary jobs, the intelligence quotient has to be very high. So remember, IQ needs cognitive skills or competencies to address challenges. Emotional quotient needs emotional skills or competencies to address the challenges thereby. This is what we are looking forward to. The surveys of attendees responses to the question of job challenges thereby. Now, let us go for the framework things. Now, what happens is the framework is positioning yourself within the situation. So, at times it is a personal competence, at times it is a social competence. So, at times because everybody knows you, everybody has an affinity for you, you get to go out of the situation also. But at times because nobody might know you, absolutely it is your competence only which is going to make or break the situation. So it's a personal competence, it's a social competence that comes around it. So that is where the emotional competence framework works around. So we need to not only have a repository of social competence but a core personal competence that should be there. So let us understand your style. Given what you know about your behavior style that goes around it, so are you got aggressive, passive, social, or intellectual competence that goes around it? So how does a behavior style inform your personal and social competencies? Social competence and personal competences, is it aggressive, is it passive? Now that is what we are looking into it. We need to understand how to go ahead with the process of building a different smart, absolutely learning a different smart. Remember, four emotional intelligence that comes around it. I believe on a matter of fact, on a personal competence, we have the self-awareness and self-management. On a social competence, it's a social awareness and relationship management. So if we have a four quadrant that goes around it, informs, or even on the personal axis, if you want to build it on a y-axis or social component on an x-axis, you will find the people with high personal competence and high social competence would be self-aware, but high personal competence and low social competence will be self-managing themselves. But again, personal with low social personal competence and high social competence will be socially aware, but people who are actually both endowed with high personal and high social competences will be having a wonderful relationships all together, and that is what we all aspire to be around it. Remember, the last slide is the personal versus positional. If you look into it, this is the personal which shows positional thing, as in direction and somebody is obeying altogether. And the personal space, everybody is happy. Your power base, you need to tell it. Is it aspirational or positional? Is it been ascribed to a position in an organization, or is it a personal space that everybody wants to be along with you, despite there are no ascribed position that has been given? So which is the power base that you dictate upon it? With this thing, I would like to wind up this particular presentation of learning a different smart. I hope I have been able to contribute towards your upbringing and towards your right thinking process of reinventing yourself to be a better person and a smart person in a due course of time. Thank you for watching this video.